Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 115 of A Yank on the Footy. I'm Craig Wessels coming to you from drizzly and cold Sandusky, Ohio, and I am absolutely thrilled that you're listening. As we dive into this episode, I wanted to take a couple of moments and talk about the club of the episode, and it cannot be anybody else but the club that is basically one of the focuses of this episode. That is the Geelong Falcons. Now, the Falcons play in the 13-team NAB League, and along with the other dozen clubs in the league, they have become quite the pipeline for providing footy talent into the AFL since the early 90s. Now, while I certainly want to pay tribute to the Falcons, the timing works out really well here because I'm joined today by three Falcons alum, and as of just about a week and a half ago, they're now members of the Geelong Cats. So today I am sitting down with Toby Conway, Mitch Knevitt, and Cooper Whyte, some of the newest members of the Cattery, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be talking with them. It was a lot of fun reaching out to these gentlemen. I reached out on social media and was able to set something up, and just genuinely nice gentlemen, nice young men there. So thrilled that they're going to be representing the Cats. Now, before I dive into the discussion, I did want to take a moment and step back into episode 109 of the podcast, and that was something that came out a couple of months ago. And in that episode, I sat down and talked with longtime D supporter Damien Buttigieg. And we talked about his longtime friendship and relationship with a family friend by the name of Charlie. And Charlie, if you hadn't heard the episode yet, I don't want to tell too much, but Charlie was somebody who helped ensure that Damien and his brother Jeremy got to go see as many D's games as possible while they were growing up. And I got a note from Damien a couple of days ago, and well, it's going to be easier for them to keep in touch with one another now because Charlie is the proud owner of a brand new cell phone. So Damien and his brother Jeremy can keep in touch. And Damien also told me that in kind of a bit of a turn of events, and I think this is probably the first of many times that this turn of event is going to take place, Jeremy and Damien took Charlie to the MCG over the weekend for the D's premiership celebration. I hope they had an absolutely fantastic time. Damien has promised to send me a couple photographs, which when I get those, or if he shares up on his social media, I will share those out on mine as well. I'll get them up on my website as well. It's just a really heartwarming story, and it was an opportunity for he and his brother to kind of pay it forward to Charlie for all of the good times that he had shown them by getting them to the games when they were younger. So, Charlie, good on you. I hope you had a blast. I have to tell you, it was fantastic seeing footage of Neil Danaher there. Just really heartwarming. His expression was priceless, and it gives you goosebumps seeing that sort of thing. So if you're a D supporter and you got the chance to be there, it was something I hope you really, really enjoyed. So I'm really thrilled to have been able to talk to Damien a few weeks ago, and I'm glad to get this update to you. So let's go ahead and dive into my talk with the three newest members of the Cats, Toby and Mitch and Cooper. So I hope you enjoy this discussion. You won't find three nicer young men than these guys were, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate them giving me of their time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am absolutely thrilled. I'm going to take off my nonpartisan hat right now and put on my Cats hat. Well, I have actually a polo one right now. I'm thrilled to be joined by three of the newest Cats members, Toby Conway, Mitch Knevitt, and Cooper Whyte. Gentlemen, thanks for taking time out of your Thursday morning for stopping by.
No worries, Craig.
Thanks for having us.
This is great. This is great. You know, I fell in love with the game about 6 years ago, and I'm thrilled to see more Geelong Falcons make the trip to Cardinia Park to continue the tradition of having some great Falcons players playing there. And, I have to ask you guys, how excited are you to be going to work with your teammates for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, we're all pretty stoked. We were great mates last year down at the Falcons, and then it was pretty surreal seeing each of our names get called out together going towards the Cats. So yeah, we're all really happy.
And that had to be great, and Toby, you got picked first. So, you hear Mitch's name getting selected next, and you've got to be thinking to yourself, yes, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It was pretty I think I was more excited when Mitchy got drafted than I was. I celebrated harder at least. So, yeah, it was good.
And Cooper, you're there going, okay, here comes a pick. Here comes a pick. The Cats got one now, and I'm going to hopefully be joining my mates here.
Yeah, it was a pretty long night for me. I was second last pick, I think, but yeah, I was super excited for the other boys when they got picked up, and then obviously to go to the same club was really exciting.
Okay, now if I'm not mistaken, one of you three gentlemen is a phenomenal basketball player as well. Who is that?
Yeah, that would have to be me, Craig.
Because I heard that there were opportunities for you to possibly play, basketball at an extraordinarily high level as well, and you had to make a decision on that.
I don't think that was one of us. I think it was Ollie Dempsey. He's not in the car with us right now. But
no, okay.
Yeah,
I thought I wish
that was me though.
Okay. All right. So what are some things that Cat supporters, and they're some of the most passionate supporters that are out there. What's something that you think the Cat supporters should know about you that they don't know already?
I think probably just that all three of us, or even all the boys coming in this year, just super keen to get started. It's obviously great culture down there. Everyone's sort of in the Geelong area. It's pretty close group, and yeah, we just want to get as good as we can and win as many games as we can.
Just make the club proud, I guess.
Okay, that's a great answer. So, have you guys started? I'm a high school teacher by trade. So have you guys have finished up high school and you've started some university studies, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, we were planning to, but we think we're going to defer a year, just because it's going to be really busy.
Okay.
If we do university or if we want to do a trade, it depends who you ask. But I think we were planning on doing it, but then we got drafted, so I think it's going to be a really busy year, really intense. So we thought we'd probably just give it a year off and just get used to the club environment.
Okay, so now that you guys are professionals, I mean that right there, you do you stop and think to yourself, we've reached this first step on this pinnacle, and now we've got more steps to take. What are the three of you going to be able to do, knowing that you have played together previously, to help encourage one another and help to push one another to become as good a player as you can possibly be within the framework of the Cats?
I think, obviously playing together, we've already got that chemistry. So we've already been able to push each other to our limits, I guess. And really got that support network around us.
Yeah, and we're really keen on each other as well. We're willing to do things for each other and work hard for each other. And now that we're in the same team, and I think it's going to even just exacerbate that, make it better. Okay. What's got you most excited about this new chapter in your footy life?
For me, it's probably just we got so many staff at the club, so there's a bunch of support people around us to help us develop inside of football and also outside of football.
I think just the fact that it's like a full-time job now, and sort of the lifestyle. Not many 18-year-olds living sort of this lifestyle. I think just trying to make the most out of everything that we sort of get involved in.
And do you feel somewhat maybe relieved isn't the right word, but are you happy to be playing for the hometown club? And I know Melbourne's not that far down the road, but you didn't get selected by a club out of West Australia or out of Adelaide. Are you happy to be playing at home?
Yeah, I think I'm absolutely stoked because I've got a big family and I get to stay close with them, and I don't have to move too far. And yeah, it's going to make the process a whole lot easier. A lot less complications for me, and it's really good having that family support really close by for me.
Okay. So, and that, I was going to actually ask about that then. How for the three of you, how have your families supported this journey of you playing footy? Because it's something that you've had to go and play and travel throughout Victoria, I'm sure, and if not the entire country, to go play against better and better competition to try to make yourselves as good an athlete as you possibly can. How have they supported you with that?
Yeah, I think just like obviously sort of all the games and trainings they've taken us to sort of from the age of like 8 or 9. They've put in a lot of work, lots of feedback and stuff as well to sort of make us better players and people. It'll be awesome to sort of be able to stay with them this year and just live at home with them as well. They're all Cats fans as well, which is good.
That's a good start. Yes, I was going to say, did anybody have to go out and buy a new jumper for a new club?
No, I've been a Cats supporter my whole life as well.
Okay.
So yeah, it made it there ezy.
Okay.
My dad was Collingwood, so he's transitioned over to Geelong now, which is good.
So he turned his stripes 90 degrees. Okay, that's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So, you guys are you had a really tough couple of years with COVID. How did you manage to thrive? I don't want to use the word survive because I don't think that's the right word, but how did you manage to thrive playing footy when the government kept telling you, sorry, you're not even allowed to leave the house and go outside?
I think the family support comes into it again, and also just the friendships you make and stuff. Like we kept really in close touch with the Falcons boys and that sort of thing. So I think that was really helpful. We could just lean on each other and talk to each other, and maybe if we were doing a running session together, it made it a lot easier. But just knowing that there are other people out there going through the same thing and that care about you and stuff, I think it really helps us to keep us going.
Okay.
Probably as well, having that sort of end goal in sight. Like it's probably paid off now that we've made it. But sort of just looking forward to that and just trying to sort of, I guess, work towards that as much as we can.
And I know that some of the players that I've seen where some of the clubs are bringing back in their first through fourth year players right now to begin training. But yeah, and you've begun training with the club, I believe, as well, correct?
Yeah.
Have you gotten out on the grounds yet and kind of looked around and said, I can't believe that guy's actually my teammate now?
Yeah, it's been pretty surreal. Yeah. I think I saw Brian Myers the other day running around. It was just like, shit, like, can't believe it.
And is that anybody planning on growing the dreads?
Nah, I can't go, I reckon. Nah.
I mean, neither can I. So, but it's it has to be you almost have to pinch yourself, I would think. As you said, being Cat supporters growing up, that it's this might be the closest thing to a dream come true that you're gonna have, because you could have ended up elsewhere and you would have been absolutely ecstatic to be playing with any of the other 17 clubs, but you've got to be thrilled to be where you are right now. So, I mean, that's terrific. So
yeah, absolutely.
Are you able to talk about the phone call that came through? Are you allowed to talk about that at all? Or can the three of you share what the message was when the club called and said, hey, we're about to make you our pick?
I don't think either of us actually got a call. We were all waiting for the pick to actually happen and the name to get called out on TV before we knew. But I think Cats are pretty well known for just keeping their cards close to their chest.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty going into each pick, but yeah, we worked out well in the end, so it didn't matter too much.
Okay. Yeah, because I was on the road driving. The first round began at about 3:30 in the morning here, and I was on the road driving to go visit my son. So I listened to the first round with Dwayne and Nick Del Santo on SEN. So, and of course, we had to wait till the next day for the two of you to get picked. So, but it's absolutely great to have you there with the club there. So let me, what do you think your goals are for this year, and how do you know that 2022 is going to be a successful year for you?
I think for me, it's probably just playing consistent footy. We've obviously missed out on a lot of games because of COVID the last few years. So just getting out there and building those relationships with all the players and stuff.
For me, it would probably be just trying to get as fit as possible and then trying to get on the track and be in as good condition as possible, I think. especially in this preseason, I just want to string lots of training sessions together and build my load and just get myself into as best shape as possible so I can attack the year.
Yeah, probably for me, probably just putting on a bit of weight, a bit of size, being sort of in midfield. I'm still pretty light on, playing against men. And, yeah, just try and learn as much as I can off sort of the older players, like heaps of good players still at the club who have been sort of superstars over their career. So, yeah, just learn as much off them as I can.
Yeah, you have arguably two future Hall of Famers in the midfield right now. I mean, it's I mean that's that in and of itself is kind of amazing. Now, Toby, I did see where you had been doing some work with Brad Otten's, a legendary Cats ruck, and in fact, you now are going to be wearing his number as well.
Yeah.
Which that has to be pretty cool to be able to throw on that number 6.
Yeah, obviously, he gave me a call about it and just said like it would be an honor for you to have it, and yeah, it was like it is just a number, so I don't think it means anything too much in terms of what's going to happen in the future, but I think it's down to me to just try and work hard and sort of determine my own fate a little bit, because he has said to me that he wants me to forge my own path, and yeah, that's something I want to do.
And he's been helpful to you, because you've got two very solid rucks with the Cats now, with the addition of Jonathan Segler from Hawthorn, but they're both on the what people would argue, and this is where I'm 58 years old, so I almost find myself laughing at myself when I say that somebody's getting old because they're 30. I don't even remember 30, but that they're on the north side of 30 there. So I mean, there's certainly an opportunity in the coming future here for you to possibly be able to fill that role there. But you've got two great veterans to be learning from as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, given they are 30, they obviously have a lot of experience. So it's not only an opportunity in the future, but an opportunity now just to try and learn as much as possible, I guess.
So do you have any superstitions? Is there anything that throughout your playing career you've just found yourself doing, and then it's become habit, it's second nature, you do it all the time, and you're going, okay, this is a little weird that I keep doing this?
I don't really like superstitions. I don't really like sort of relying on something, because then if I sort of don't do it, it might throw me off a bit. But no, I try and stick away from them. Just sort of play every game sort of the same, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually have one where if I put the shin pad on the wrong leg at the start of the game, I think I'm going to play badly. So if I do that, I'll get a bit nervous. But yeah, I'm sort of with Mitch on that. Like it's if you do rely too closely on superstition, and you don't do something, then yeah, I think it will ruin your mindset going into a game. Not sure about Cooper though.
Yeah, no, I don't have any superstitions either.
Okay. Any go-to meals that you before a game or that sort of thing that you have to have this before you get out there?
I have to have spag bowl before a game every night.
Okay.
On the night before a game, yeah. If I don't, I'll get a little bit nervous, but I think it's just good carbs, good protein. So yeah, try and stick with that.
Yeah, I just have the carbonara before a game. Mum cooks a good carbonara, so just have that the night before.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. Some sort of pasta.
Okay, good deal. You've and this is kind of a little hypothetical one here, but let's just say that each one of you has been given the opportunity to host a music festival at GMBHA Stadium. Okay, each one of you. So what 3 artists are you going to be bringing in to perform at GMB? Now, let's say that all of the COVID restrictions are gone and people can freely travel from anywhere in the world. What 3 artists are you going to bring in to perform there?
Not Travis Scott.
Well, it's an outdoor stadium, so.
I'd probably have J. Cole as one.
Okay.
Yeah, not sure about the other 2 though.
Yeah, I'm shocking with music, but probably just get 3 big ass names just to try and get a big crowd and lots of revenue and stuff. But probably go with No, I'm struggling with music, so I'm not too sure, Craig.
Okay, that's all right. That's completely okay. It's not. I've had some people that because I ask that question quite frequently, and a lot of people just say, I'm not a big music fan, and I get that, and I just that's perfectly all right. So, is there somebody that's coming in this year that came into the draft with you that you think, wow, besides yourselves, that's coming into the draft this year that you think, wow, this person's really got a chance at making a big splash this year in 2022? Maybe somebody that you've played against.
I'd probably have to go Ollie Dempsey, to be honest, because I think I've seen some of his highlights and I have played against him, and yeah, he's a really good player. And that's with very limited amount of footy training and footy exposure, because he was a basketballer, and so I think the level he's at now without the training he's had with footy, I think he has a lot of potential. So yeah, that excites me a little bit.
Do you mean from like other teams as well?
Yeah, maybe not with your club, but yeah, somebody that got drafted this year that you think that person.
I think Josh Ward's pretty good. He played really good against us in some of the Vic games, and yeah, he's just really good runner, really skillful, sort of midfielder. Yeah, he could definitely start off really well from the get-go.
Okay. I have just a couple of other things here before we wrap up. What are some of your earliest memories as a player? When you first started playing, and when you were younger, were they calling it Auskick at that time? Still?
Yeah, they were.
Okay. So what are some of your earliest memories, either as a supporter of the Cats, or your dad supporting Collingwood, or as a player? What's the stuff that you remember for the furthest back?
Probably for me, it's just playing down at the local club in like under 12s. Yeah, I had a couple mates that I played with throughout all juniors as well. So yeah, that'd probably be it.
I remember in Miles kick years, the Cats players would come down and stuff. Got some photos with like Joel Selwyn and stuff, which was pretty crazy back then, which was pretty exciting. I sort of loved seeing those boys, but yeah, that's probably the main one.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, it would probably be the premierships. I think as a Cats supporter, we got 3 premierships, and yeah, that's sort of where the heroes got established, and you start dreaming about playing footy and playing in a premiership yourselves. So that was really exciting times for me when the Cats were winning flags. So hopefully we can do it again soon.
Okay. Well, absolutely. Let's do it again soon. We have to, let's keep everybody healthy. And I have to be honest, I didn't even have Melbourne in my top 8 last year. So I feel like I thought it was time. I thought it was Fremantle's time, and they almost got there into the top 8, but not quite. But it is what it is.
I don't think many people did have Melbourne in their top 8 last year, though. So
no, it was, and you look at them now, and you're thinking they're probably going to be top 4 for at least a few years.
Yeah,
I think how Max Gawn goes, I think is how that club's going to go. And I had joked with some D's supporters, and I interviewed the D's president last spring, and I told people after the grand final, I said they were lying to me, because I swore there was more than one Max Gawn on the ground. He was everywhere.
Yeah.
He was absolutely everywhere on the ground. So you said you enjoyed getting your picture taken with Joel Selwood. Do you find, this is something that I've noticed, coming in as an American, the relationship between footy players in the AFL and the supporters, it's unlike anything I've seen in any sport here in the United States. It's a completely different thing.
Yeah, everyone goes pretty nuts. They sort of see him as like heroes, I guess. When you're sort of outside of the club, going to games and stuff, everyone just really is sort of obsessed with all the players on the ground and stuff. Anyone on the list.
Yeah, and I guess we sort of had an education meeting on it the other day, but there's a lot of community involvement with the players.
Mm-hmm.
I think that helps a lot. Like, you have to just try and get out in the community as much as you can and make appearances there. And I think that really helps to boost it a lot, and probably part of the reason why we got 100,000 in the grand final watching along.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily a relationship where they're always mobbing you and that sort of thing. It's kind of a mutual respect, I think, and that the players have with the supporters and vice versa, which is
sure.
I had a guy I interviewed last year who's a Port supporter, and he said that he goes to the same coffee shop every day that Ken Hinckley does. And on Mondays, if Port has won, he buys Ken Hinckley his coffee, and if Port's lost, Ken's buying his coffee for him. It's kind of become a tradition that they've done over the last several years. So it's really neat, and I'm thrilled for you guys, and I think you're thrilled for yourselves as well. So I can't wait to see where this journey takes the three of you, and I'm as a Cat supporter, I'm ecstatic that you're there. I wish you all the best of luck. And thanks for taking time out of your morning to stop by and talk with me.
Thanks very much, Craig. Thanks for having us. I really appreciate it.
You bet, guys. You bet. Best of luck, gentlemen. Best of luck. And a big thanks to Toby Conway and to Mitch Knevitt and to Cooper Whyte for sitting down to talk about their journey to the Cats and where things are going to be going as they move forward. Gentlemen, as a footy fan, and more importantly, as a supporter of the Cats, I wish you absolutely all the best as you embark on your careers. You're three very, very impressive young men, and I'm so glad you're going to be wearing the hoops, and you're going to represent this organization extraordinarily well, and I'm thrilled to be a Cat supporter, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys do going forward here. So best of luck as you get going there. Now, ladies and gents, as I wrap it up here, don't forget that you can find everything related to the podcast over at my website at yankonthefooty.com. You can sign up for the mailing list there. One of the other things that I'm doing right now is trying to line up a number of people who would want to come onto the show to talk about their AFLW club or their AFL club going into the 2022 seasons. Again, we're about 36 days away from the AFLW comp beginning, so I'm trying to line up as many supporters of those clubs to talk about the upcoming season with them. So if you're interested, head over to my website, click on the register as a guest button up at the top of the page. Many of you have done that already. I will be reaching out to you very soon to try to set up a time that works out well for you. Hopefully this will be about a 25, 30-minute discussion, just what you're looking forward to in the season, what your expectations are for your club, that type of thing. So if you're interested, I'd love to get you on. As I did last year, I'll probably couple a couple of supporters into a single episode and share those as we go forward. So I'd really love to hear from you. If you want to get on the show and talk about that, that'd be fantastic. Now, I will also provide a link to that in the show notes if you want to just go ahead and click on that as well. Remember, if you want to help out the podcast, you can also go to my website and click on the Buy Me a Coffee button in the bottom left-hand corner. It's that little yellow circle down there. If you want to help it out, it would be greatly appreciated. That stuff goes, anything that comes in there goes right back out into the podcast to help to cover fees and that sort of thing, to promote the game, etc. Now, that you've listened, I hopefully that you will consider leaving me a 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser, or even leaving me a review right on my website, because I can then turn around and share those out on my socials. If you want to share a link out on your socials, if you enjoy the show, tell your friends about it. That'd be fantastic. Help to drive some traffic that way and help to build up the listenership, because that's, of course, as a podcaster, that's what you're always trying to do, is reach as many people as you possibly can. And not being in Australia, that would certainly be some wonderful assistance on your part if you'd consider doing that. Remember, you can also find me at Yank_on Twitter. You can reach me at yankonthefooty@gmail.com. I'm also over on Instagram and on Facebook as well. Now, folks, I want to thank you for listening. This was a great discussion. I've got another one coming next week. I sat down yesterday afternoon with a gentleman that I'm just going to give you a hint. I referred to this gentleman as a sport renaissance man. And I truly believe that. And it's just a series of fascinating and very fun stories that we talked about yesterday. So I'm really looking forward to getting that one out to you here in the next week or so as well. So, again, thanks for listening. I hope you'll share the episode with your friends and family. As always, may your dribble kick never, ever hit that post. I will catch you later. This has been episode 115 of A Yank on the Footy. Don't forget that you can reach me at yank_on over at my email, ayankonthefooty@gmail.com. You can also find me on Instagram and on Facebook at A Yank on the Footy. Again, thanks for listening. I hope you'll share the episode with your friends and family. And until next time, folks, this is Craig Wessels from the United States over here in Chile, Ohio. I will talk to you soon. And until next time, goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.